Hi, I'm Royce with Phoenix Fabrication, and I wanted to talk to you about one of our new products. Here we have a 235-gallon yellow grease collection tank. This collection tank is ideal for your larger accounts. It has a sleek design, space-saving design, and it fits in most places. A lot of times when you have larger accounts, what people will do is they'll drop what we call apartment cans or big square dumpsters. And those hold anywhere between 250 and 400 gallons. The problem with those cans is they're very big and bulky. They don't have a lot of theft features on here. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to go through here and explain how this can works. So we have a 2-tank lid system here. Now the top tank lid system is for the restaurant owner. Now if they want to put a lock on here, they can for peace of mind. This allows them then to make sure no one's pouring anything in there unless they want it in there. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up, and this is on a hinge. This is for easy access. And you'll notice inside here that we went ahead and we cut holes out. What we call this is a filter. In this filter, this allows the restaurant to pour its oil in here, and this catches all of your larger particles, your food, your bones, gloves, stuff like that. We also added what we call a splash guard. The splash guard allows it to where if an employee comes in and pours all of the oil really fast, it will catch here, go up, and slide down, versus going up and over and making a mess. So that concludes the top portion of it. So now I'm going to show you the service lid, the area where you will actually be pumping your oil out. So you'll notice down here we have what we call a lock guard. In this lock guard, we have what we call a bullet lock. So I'm going to go ahead and take this bullet lock out now and open this up for you. Now you'll notice this lid, when it opens up, we have a lot of technology involved in this. The reason we went with this circle here is so that nobody actually has a pivot point to use a crowbar. This is all 11 gauge steel. So for somebody to break into this, they're going to need basically a blowtorch. So as you can see here, this is your service lid area. This allows you to pump all of your oil. If you need to do any maintenance in the tank, it's very easy access. There's nothing impeding you at all. And you'll notice on the back here we have our hinges. The way that we did our hinges, you cannot cut these hinges off and just pop over this tank. The reason I say that is because in our earlier designs we had issues with that. So everything that you see here has been battle tested. These tanks have been in the market for several years, and we've had no issues with these tanks at all. You'll also notice that we have a lip around the tank, and this is all 11 gauge. Now the reason we do that is so that nobody can get a crowbar and pivot in. Everything at the top inlet here is 11 gauge steel for strength. I'll go ahead and shut this down for you. And the last thing I'm going to go over is you'll notice on the bottom of this tank here that it actually looks like it's floating. It's not actually on the ground. Now the reason we do that is for two reasons. Number one, this allows anybody with an appliance dolly to be able to take this tank by themselves and take this and put it on a trailer and take it off. So ideally you have this 235-gallon tank that somebody can move around with just an appliance dolly by themselves. The second reason the legs are on there is while this tank is sitting in the field, it will not be sitting in a puddle of water. That means the bottom of your can will never actually rust out because the legs will take the brunt of that damage. The last thing I want to talk to you about this tank is the paint. We went through an enormous amount of paint to try to figure out one that would work best in this industry. We went with an epoxy-based paint, and this epoxy-based paint basically does a couple things for us. It holds up the elements against any weather that's thrown at it. Furthermore, the vegetable oil does not like sticking to it, which means it's a lot easier to clean than other types of paints. So when you're having this in the field a lot and you have your vegetable oil on there, as long as you're staying on top of it and cleaning it, you'll notice that your tank will stay clean, fresh, and a lot easier to clean as long as you're making sure that there's not an overwhelming amount of vegetable oil on it. And that concludes the 235 yellow grease collection.